Continuing to read this book, Women of Hope, written by Perry Polakovich, and the chapters that I'm working for right now deal with the German mystic Hildegard of Bingen. There were a number of what they call the Rhine mystics around the time of Hildegard. Hildegard was one, Mechthild was one, Gertrude was one, and there was a whole corpus of writings from the Rhine mystics. I've tried to read some of them. They're written in a kind of a flowery language with kind of like an ancient grammar structure. They're difficult to read, but I just wanted to let you know that this is out there. So just in case it's something that you would be interested with. There is an interesting part of this chapter where they talk about Hildegard's friend Jutta, who was the head of the abbey in Germany. The town was called Disi-Bodenberg, and that's where Hildegard spent most of her life. Jutta actually died there, and they go pretty much in depth about the relationship between Jutta and Hildegard, and most especially Jutta, whose death was predicted to her in a prophecy, and so as the date got closer, she ended up preparing herself for that. In those preparations, and even before, what came out was the incredible holiness and piety of Jutta and Hildegard, almost to extremes by today's standard, wearing chain mail, metal up against your flesh, hair shirts, walking barefoot in winter, etc., etc. But what was interesting, and maybe not remarkable, was the incredible number of women that were attracted to this piety and this holiness, and the striving to have that close relationship with Christ to a significant degree, to the point where they became rather particular about who they admitted to the abbey, because so many women were coming. At the end, they pose a question, and I found this was interesting. It was a reflecting question. They say Pope Benedict called upon Saint Hildegard to help him clean up the church. What does this say about the ways Catholics interact with the saints? If you're over 30 and probably even over 40, you were around during the time of two saints, John Paul II and Mother Teresa. Young people today are attracted to recent young saints, Blessed Chiara, Blessed Frassati, who died at a relatively young age. I'm not going to say I met John Paul or Mother Teresa. I encountered them closely twice when I was a seminary, when I was a priest, and on World Youth Day. And what struck me about them was they were incredibly normal. There was just something refreshingly average about them, and the way they would just interact with people, and they would talk to Saint Mother Teresa. And they would say, "Mother, do you know that people say that you're a saint?" And she goes, "Well, I hope so. I mean, isn't everybody supposed to be one of those?" And just things like that could become incredibly disarming when you were around them. Who are the holy people that are in your life right now? I'm sure you know one or two. What's your reaction when you are around them? Do they scare you? Do they attract you? Is a little bit of both? And you could almost ask, so what? Does it change you at all? And I think that's the main thing. If when you encounter that kind of holiness, does it move you to move in a very particular direction and a different direction than you had been going before? Don't know, just kind of putting that out there. I'd be interested to see if any of you had encountered John Paul II, Mother Teresa, other holy men and women. Let me know what your encounters with them have been like, and what has been your reaction, and anything that you've done that has come out of that reaction. God bless.